Welcome back to another episode of Oxygen Not Included, everybody. I've done some setup for our petroleum rocket. First of all, we got the pump line finished, so petroleum's getting pumped in. And if we look at our large liquid fuel tank, we have stored 900 kilograms of petroleum. I did realize after we built that for a petroleum rocket to work, we also need a oxidizer tank. So we added that, which means we took off everything but our cargo bay. We'll have to do some redesign later once we want to put in some storage for liquid and gases. But for now, we can go out and pick up solid matter. Come back, we can swap that out if we need to if we're doing other stuff. We still have our artifact module, so we can pick up our artifacts. Our cartographic module, so we can explore the universe. Of course, our spacefarer module, so that we can put our duplicates in. And if we go inside here quick, we still have the one bed. We have power. We have a smart battery in here that we are going to power off the wheel so that we can power the oxygen diffuser in space. I moved some things around, got rid of the dirt in the plant, the oxalate or oxyfern plant. So now we have all the things we need in here for our duplicate to be perfectly well and happy in space for 100 days. So that's ready to go. In order to fill the oxidizer tank, I had to make a oxalate refinery. So that just takes gold and oxygen and turns it into oxalate, which is being made, and then it's being taken up and dropped off in the oxidizer tank. So this oxidizer tank, let's check out how much that has so far. We're 252 kilograms, so we're about a third of the way filled up. So we're going to fill that up completely before we go. We had to make some changes to our power grid in order to make that work. So I'm still working them all out, but we added in some more transformers and moved some wires around so we can get a line down here to run that oxalate refinery, because it's 1200 on its own, so it pretty much needed its own power line. The other thing I was working on, I swapped out all these doors in here to steel because they were overheating and causing me issues. But we still have some real big heat issues in here. So I rerouted the lines down here from the lower cooling system so that now we have some cooling going up to the second level where the slicksters are, so we can regulate the slicksters a little better. I built up the steam system up here. We're still trying to pump all that steam out of our system. It's coming up here and it's cooling down. And then I moved the vent up. We're just going to create a little water pool up here, let it fill up, because that's better than letting the heat all drift down here and cause issues. So still having a little bit of water that trickles down, so I left everything intact. But yeah, so this is just slowly pumping all the steam out. There's a ton of it in here, a ton of steam. So it's going to take quite a while. Thinking I might add in another gas pump so that we can do it faster, because this is only moving half of what's the steam it could. We might do that just to try to get this emptied out a little quicker. We're starting to have some issues down in our petroleum boiler, which we're experiencing because we don't have enough oil. So I have to figure out what we're going to do with that. The big thing is that this thing is designed to support 20 kilograms of oil coming in. I just produced a little more than 10. So it was kind of overkill. I wanted to do it, but I think what I'm going to do is I think that the issue is I want to have both of these lines have to kind of stay full of oil, because when they get gaps in, that's when they cause heat issues. So I think what I'm going to do is on each of these lines, I'm going to install a valve. In fact, I'm going to do it right now. We'll do a liquid valve, and we will limit each side to 5 kilograms. So put this one right here, this one right here. And then what that'll do, actually, I just made them out of gold, and I want, just in case I have heat issues in here for the future, I want them made out of steel. What I think that'll do is make it so that there's the lines stay full up. The long-term solution that we need to work on for that is adding in solar power so that we're not using all the petroleum we have like crazy. And then we can actually back up some petroleum because we're getting to the point where we're going to run out of petroleum. I just did the same dang thing. Sometimes you get distracted while you're playing about what you're doing. I mean, I do that normally, but when I'm trying to record, it gets even worse. Okay, so these are steel now. So we'll put those in. We'll get them changed up. So little minor problems coming up, like I always do, propping up. This area is still vacuuming out all this time later, but it's getting very close. We're down into micrograms in some of the spots. Well, all the spots, but it's just trying to get the last little bits out, and then we can move on to getting some more gases out of other areas. So everything's going well down here, but we're having just those minor little issues. So let me have some people come down here and fix this stuff real quick. If I can get it so that oil is flowing consistently through the pipes, even if it's not the full amount, everything will work out fine in here. The issue is like 8 kilograms is going into one side and only 2 in the other, and then we get gaps, and it causes all kinds of problems. So this can go now because that got rid of the oil. So what happens is the pipes crack, and then oil gets into the areas in here, and it messes with my pressures and everything. It'll also, once I get all the gases out, that'll help it too. But okay, so these are here now. So let's do, I need to clip the wires in between, or the pipes in between them. Basically, I need to make it so that they're actually flowing through the shutoff instead of bypassing it. Okay, and so then let's just start by setting these each to 5,000 grams a second. But you see how sometimes the oil comes in and it fills this side, and then this side gets less. If I set this to 5,000 grams per second, I'm pretty sure that'll mean that we'll get a little backup here, and then this line will back up and it'll balance it out. At least that's the hope. We're going to set it to do that, and then we'll let it go for a while, and we'll see what happens. And like I said, we'll have to get working on solar power and stuff so that we have better power so we can backstock our petroleum, because the petroleum is starting to get to the point where it's running very low. We're using more than we're making for sure. And that's including, all the oil from these refineries flowing at 100%. We're pumping it out as fast as we can into the system, and the oil coming from the slicksters. So our options are to invest in another power type like solar, or increase our number of slicksters. So we may do both, but we'll see. It's not our priority for today. Today our priority is to get into space. And so let's check this out here again. Our oxidizer tank is now at the point we're almost full. The next thing I have to work on before we leave is, right now this oxalate is just being dropped on the ground. I need to set up some kind of storage here where the oxalate is stored in water so that it doesn't emit gas. It's not emitting much now because it's overpressured in here, but I don't want it to. I want it to keep making oxalate until this is full. So I'm going to make a smart storage bin system, but I need that smart storage bin system to be submerged. So I'm going to work on that, and I'm going to work on getting the rocket ready to launch. And then when I come back, we will be launching our rocket into space. Okay, I got this oxalate refinery cleaned up a little bit, finished up. So basically, this is a similar setup to what I use in my industrial block, but this is a regular storage bin set to 1900 kilograms of oxalate. It's submerged with a little bit of water, which will keep anything in it from off-gassing. So that means that we can store oxalate in there forever. This is set to priority 6. I have a smart storage bin set to priority 5, storing 100 kilograms of oxalate. And then I have a automation wire that goes through a NOT gate to the oxalate refinery. So as soon as this gets 100 kilograms of oxalate, it will send a signal to shut off the refinery. So basically, this will fill up 1900 kilograms. This will fill up 100. So we'll have 2 kilograms or 2000 kilograms of oxalate, and then this machine will shut off so that we're not constantly making it. That's enough so that we can refill this oxidizer tank on here a couple of times. That way we have a nice stockpile anytime we need to refill it when the rocket comes back in. As far as the rocket goes, we made a slight change. I thought I'd give Demon a break. Toby is all skilled up so that she has rocket piloting 2 and some research and everything that we need. She's gonna be our new pilot for this mission. So just to go through the checklists here, everything is good. We haven't set our destination yet. We haven't put our pilot in. To put our pilot in, all we do is change this to crew. That means everybody that is not supposed to be on the rocket will get out, and everybody that is supposed to be on the rocket will get in. We still have some cleaning up to do in here, but we'll do that when we come back. We have all of the needs for Toby met in here. We have 400,000 calories of food. We have 100 rad pills. And that's pretty much all she's going to need for what we're going to do. So we're going to let this go so that she gets in here. There she is. Why are you sitting right there? Do I have to assign this bed now that it's been changed? Yeah, because she already had a bed. So now this is her bed. So we're just going to check to make sure everything's working in here. I'm going to suppress this automation wire. I guess I could run an automation wire to connect this to that, but I don't think it's necessary. This will automatically shut off when this spools, so Toby won't run on it. There's not much else for her to do in here right now, so she's just going to chill until it's bedtime. She has her dining hall so she can eat. She has plenty of food. So we're all ready to launch this thing. So let's go and set our destination. So what we're going to do first is go to there. So now everything is set. Everything's good. Let's switch our gantry. So now that the gantry is closed, our thing's open. So we're ready to begin our launch. There we go. I don't know how this is going to do as far as heating here. So this releases a bunch of carbon dioxide. All right, so let's go to our star map. Check it out. So the adaptable vessel 4, or what is that? 55. I think that's right. Is on its way. It's 1.2 cycles until it gets to here. I've never done rocket exploration around, so I don't know what's going to happen when we get here. Resource gathering diamond. Drilling. Let's go back out to. I never set. This has been an experiment for me, so I'm figuring it out. The rocket has a cargo bay, which I never set what it is allowed to store, so I guess I needed to do that before it took off. Is diamond what it's going to drill here? I don't really know. My goal is for it to get over here, and then we see if we just pick up the artifact. If we have to do something, we'll go from there. And then after we get there, then we will decide on our next move in space. So that's going to take a while. We have 100 days of space exploration with that rocket. So let's just let that go, and then I'll come back once we see what happens when Toby makes her way over to the retired planetary excursion module. Rocket is about to get to our planetary excursion module. Another 15 seconds. So I thought we would record it so we can see what happens together. Okay, so the rocket goes into that tile. Like docking with it? Ah, we got the artifact from here. Okay, so you get another artifact in 69 cycles. That makes sense. Okay, so this time we are just going to bring the ship back. We're going to get that artifact. This is just a test to make sure everything's working. So everything's working good. One thing I didn't think about is that Toby can be in space for 100 cycles, but because of the fuel that we use when we're moving, it doesn't mean we can just kind of cruise around for the entire time. We have to make sure we have enough fuel and oxidizer so that we can do it. We have enough to go 7 tiles, which is enough to get us back. But right now our range is 9 tiles. So I'm thinking that means we can go out 4 tiles and come back 4 tiles. Oh, hold on. Toby's got starvation. You have food, right? Why are you starving? Let me make sure. Do I not? It's possible. I think I just thought of it. When I set up the berry sludge, I made it so that only Demon could eat it. That way it didn't get eaten by other duplicates while they were in the rocket. And I never set Toby to be allowed to eat it. So she has no food in her rocket here that she can eat. Go eat some berry sludge before you die. Good job. Good job on not dying, Toby. Okay. So that's good. So let's go back to the star map. The rocket has another cycle before it gets back to landing on Ideolius. I gotta figure out how to rename these things. There's gotta be a way to rename your asteroids, right? But anyway, we got another cycle to wait for that to happen. So we'll let Toby make her way back, safely landing on our asteroid, and we'll get our new artifact. We got to work on where we're going to store the artifacts. It is part of one of our colony achievements to collect all the artifacts. Let me pull that up. Of course, it takes forever to bring up the colony summary. Okay, so I think it's one of the spaced out achievements, but let's see. Oh no, it's not. It's one of the achievements up here. It is a DLC achievement, but it's to collect. So let it study different terrestrial artifacts at the artifact analysis station. Unique artifacts studied 0 out of 10. Study different artifacts at the. Why is it showing its place? Anyway, we need to do terrestrial artifacts studied 0 out of 10. Space artifacts 0 out of 10. So we got to get 10 of each and study them. So we'll have to get that set up, build a place to study them, and do all that stuff. So more things to do, but I'll come back once we have Toby back safe, and then we will discuss our next plans. Rocket is coming back in for a landing. We have another 15 seconds until it lands. Everything is set up. Shouldn't have any problems. Let's see it come in. This is a pretty momentous occasion. Our first petroleum rocket returning safely from space. Close our doors. Let's close all these doors. I think that they're not getting power for some reason. Who's getting too altered? Toby, why did you leave the rocket without putting your suit back on? Is it because I forgot to give you the command to put your suit back on? That's unfortunate. Interior. Why are you not listening to me? We were doing just great. Now, serious problems. Alright, well, it doesn't matter. She went back inside, got a suit. Knew I was going to forget something, though. Okay, so let's go back in here. View our interior. Okay, looks like that's been done. Alright, where's my yellow? It's all good. No harm, no foul. Okay, so our petroleum rockets look good. Our petroleum refilled itself. Our axolite is being restored now. We have to put it on our gantries. Oh, the heat melted my switch. Must not have had it made out of steel. Maybe I did, and it was just hot enough to melt steel. Nope, I had it made out of lead. Give me my switch. No power? Why don't I have power? Oh, we ended up melting our conductive bridge. This is why we do test runs, folks. Okay, so once that's fixed, the gantries will go back out. And then we can start getting everything else filled back up. I want to see... What I did while Toby was bringing the rocket back is I built a little storage space here. So I have 20 pedestals. This side is for terrestrial-based artifacts, like this X-ray that we found while exploring our base here. I don't know how you can tell the difference between a terrestrial and space one, but this one we got while we were up on the thing. We got an office mug, so we should have the office mug in here. Where do we find it? Maybe we don't, because maybe it still needs to be unloaded. Maybe it's because it doesn't have access because the power's not there. I'm not sure. So let's see. Do we need to... Oh, yeah. Okay, we actually have to remove it. Okay. So we learned. So what I want to do... I think it's going to put that all the way at the bottom. Wish there was a better way to search here, and there very well might be, and I just don't know it, but... Where is it? It's frustrating. Okay, so let's see. Office mode. Oh, it's entombed. So what do I do to unentomb it? Is there a station for it? Artifact analysis station. Sounds like promising. So let's put that right here next to our pedestals. So we'll put it on this side. Construct this ladder. Power's going to take, but both these lines have some power in them. So hopefully it won't be much, and then this can get placed down and we can analyze our artifact. But so the idea here was that I have 10 pedestals for terrestrial artifacts and 10 for space artifacts to display them, and then I have my analysis station so that I can analyze them. We'll see. I don't know. This is new to me, so we might change things up later. We may make a nice fancy place for it. We may just use this setup just to get the achievement done. Who knows? But if you have any feedback on how you think we should do that, leave me a comment. So let's see this. Let's build this artifact analysis station at high priority, and then I'm going to do some experimenting around with analyzing the artifacts, and then I'll be back. So it took me some doing, but I figured out how this thing works. I was thinking that you would need a researcher to clean off the artifact and remove it from its entombment. But no, you need an artist, and my artist had been previously recloned, put it that way, and I didn't have any duplicate with the Masterworks skill. So AR is our new Masterworks artist, and she is hard at work unentombing this artifact that we just brought back from space. There we go. So now we have the office mug. And then she's also taken the x-ray that we had gotten from before, and she's cleaning that up. So let me see. Now, does the office mug show up in here? So many things that we can put on the pedestal. There's our office mug. I want to put this on high priority. So it looks like she's already busy doing other things. She'll come back, she'll get that one clean. But I want to get this office mug over there so I can check it out a little better. I don't know if there's a way to tell. I'll have to wait until I get this one. What I'm trying to figure out is if there's a way to tell the difference between artifacts from space and artifacts from terrestrial sources. I just don't know. So, all right. Well, we're gonna get this office mug placed over here. We'll take a look at it some more. But we're already running pretty late in this episode. I made it a little longer because I wanted to get all the stuff from our Petroleum rocket and our first trip into space with it into one episode. So I'm sorry for the slightly longer episode. In our next episode, we're going to be doing some more space exploration and hopefully trying to figure out how the drill cone system works and getting some resources back to our colony from space. So I hope you enjoyed watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.